Yo, what's up, guys? We're back at it with another PPRFFMP. We're still doing this thing, 6 episodes in. We haven't quit yet. And
Uh-uh.
we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew
Nice.
King on here. We also have Levi, but he sucks. Boo.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, we can't take personal shots. I'll take a
Oh,
little
sorry.
red team hit,
That's
but
what
not a
Party Room
Levi
is
sucks.
about, is personal shots.
But
That's fair.
Levi's on the red team. Boo.
Boo.
I have nothing to say.
Better dead than red.
Yeah, got him. Fun fact.
As Trevor
I'm
is.
playing in an online tournament right now.
Hmm.
It was like a 150-person tournament. So I made top 16. So we're playing out
Nice.
top 16 now. So
Nice.
yeah,
Very
we're
nice.
out there just slapping people around.
Are you making them lather their butts before they
Yeah.
get kicked?
Their butts aren't lathered enough. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, what is the quote? Is it lather your butts for a good kicking or lather up for a good butt kicking?
Lather up your butts for a good
Yeah.
kick.
For a good kicking.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Silly me.
that's gonna be our quote for next year's Party Room Film Festival.
I
Yeah.
hope not.
I hope so.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll just shorten it to lather up your butts.
Lather up. Nah, I think we need the full context to show that there is no context.
Well, anyways, let's get this thing started. Where's your film at?
Like locationally?
However you want to interpret that question.
Sure. I could say this. Locationally, it does take place in Pennsylvania. So
Okay.
there's a little shooting that happened a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, just with like my schedule and a family vacation and then heading out to Paris here soon, I wasn't really able to like go to Kentucky to film with a lot of people.
Mhm.
But my brother, last year when I was making Pegged, I would send him clips because we have a very similar sense of humor and he loved it. So when I pitched to him the idea for this year and that would require his heavy involvement, he was like all in. So next week, I'm going to be in Maine for a family reunion, basically. And so we'll be doing the bulk of the filming there.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll definitely go well. Very excited. It's going to be a lot, but it should be fun.
Excellent. Now, we're just getting right into this.
Sure.
Did you hear the shots that Matt took at you? You know, that you just couldn't get it done, you know?
Right.
But did he pick Paul as his overall winner? Was that right,
He
Levi?
did, yes.
He did. He
Yeah.
did.
But I mean,
So
granted, everyone was bolstering your ego with the whole,
Sure.
is it Paul or is it Andrew?
Sure.
But then you
Yeah.
said that you really got to step it up.
I definitely haven't done research or let this live in my head, but he definitely said that last year was my try hard year, and that's true. Last year was my try hard year. However, this year is my try harder year.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
obviously, Matt's former Dewey winner. Got to give credit where credit's
He
due.
is.
That's definitely very big, very important.
Mhm.
Sam had shared with me that as they were picking teams, I was not very high up on Matt's overall draft rankings.
Wow.
And while I would not put it past Sam to just have completely made that up in order to get me more competitive, it has definitely made me more competitive. So definitely ready to got to bring your best. The fresh blood of a Dewey winner is already or is still in my nostrils after knocking off Sam last year, and hoping to go knock off 2 of the 4. So
That makes me a little nervous because Pegged was pretty good.
it was fun to do, but no, this year is it's definitely there's no we're not letting off the gas. If anything, we're pedal to the metal, pushing on.
Okay.
And that's what it's like over in Bluegill. Just pedal
Right.
to the metal.
So, have you heard Paul's episode yet?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. There was a little question in there about the Trinity and which member of the council was which
Sure.
member of the Trinity. Do you agree with Trevor's and my stance that you are the father?
I mean, I definitely don't really want to comment a whole lot about where I fall in.
Sure.
On
Well, who do you
what
think was
level
more
I
right,
would
me or
compare-
Levi?
Oh, who was right between you two? So
Yeah.
remind me again. I think Levi thought Josiah was Jesus and Zach the Holy Spirit, and Trevor thought the opposite. So
Correct.
Josiah's
Yes.
the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
I would
Yeah.
say, based mainly on presence of facial hair, I think you'd have to go Zach is Jesus, and then because Josiah is more of the like make it work kind of guy, I feel like the Holy Spirit, in my very limited theological training, out of the three beings of God, I feel like maybe Josiah / the Holy Spirit is more of the get it done kind of person.
Well, here's my, just a little bit of pushback. I feel like Jesus kind of did like the biggest work of all human time.
I'll to agree with that sentiment, but to push back and to affirm my position, I would say that Zach in many ways sacrifices the most of any of us as he invites us into his home, much like Jesus invites us into his home.
Are you calling me a sinner?
Or I'm calling you incorrect.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Now here's one thing I did want to expand on though, because there's been a lot of talk about, Trevor being on the council. This is not something I brought up. This is what many people are saying. If we were to compare the council to the Trinity, I would be God the Father, Zach or Josiah, being Jesus the Holy Spirit. We can, differ on our views there. In this situation of Trevor being on the council, hypothetically, what would that make Trevor? Because to my knowledge, and you feel free to, and I definitely want Trevor to answer here. So, because as I think about it in biblical teachings, there was an individual that did try and knock off God the Father in the biblical.
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. No.
I believe there was like a battle in heaven, and one specific person who maybe rebelled and was cast out of heaven.
I think Blue Team has Satan on their team, I think is what we're getting at. So
what did you say, Levi?
Satan.
Who is this person? Who specifically?
Trevor.
You said Blue Team.
Yeah, Blue Team. Blue Team has Satan on their team.
Wow.
Metaphorically.
And that person would be
Trevor.
So in this situation, God the Father, created this thing and it was good, and Satan saw this but wanted the glory for himself, and thus usurped or attempted the usurpation of that created thing and was cast out of heaven. So it's an interesting parallel.
Parallel is maybe a strong word, but it is definitely a thought.
Well, so Trevor, many people are saying that you're Satan. So what would you say in that situation?
So what is my rebuttal to that?
Yeah.
That's what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, I got you. So who do you think will win the Golden Dewey this year?
Nice. Okay. Talk with Zach. I think he'll turn his film in on time.
Oh, wow.
And so so with that in mind, I think Zach will end up winning the Golden Dewey.
We may see him on the podcast soon, so we'll have to ask him what he thinks about that. So how does it make you feel, like multiple people believing and saying on the record, like, I think he's going to win?
No, I mean, it's awesome. Like, I love doing this. It's always fun to put your heart and soul into something and just have like fun with it too. Right. So yeah, I love it. I'm hoping one of these years, obviously, to win the Golden Dewey, but you want to put your best foot forward. My film this year, I'm trying like maybe a little bit different of approach. It's still, I like to have all my films a little bit weird, but this is definitely the most fun of any film. It definitely won't be as weird as American Unsightly. I think I can confidently say that. Yeah.
Are you waiting on any footage from anyone for your film?
Yes. I mean, I don't want to say who, but there are a few people. But I did give them to the end of this week. So hypothetically, whoever is listening to this.
You gave them till the end of the week. Did they know that?
Well, this person said they'll get it to me as soon as possible, which I believe was actually like last weekend when they were going to work on it, but then it just never happened. But that's fine. This person has some time, but if this person is listening, especially right at this moment on Thursday, I would appreciate if this person could get me their parts pretty soon.
For all you students out there, this is a masterclass in showing, not telling, but you guys can't see what we're seeing. There is so much tension in the facial expressions between these two. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I do trust this person to get something in.
Andrew, whose film do you think will be better this year's? Mine or Trevor's?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll define better by, the winner of the head-to-head. While I do trust the abilities of both of you, I believe there has been a penalty, for lack of a better word, a penalty on Golden Dewey winners So Sam won the Golden Dewey. Next year, lost his category. Then Aaron won the Golden Dewey. Next year, won his category, but it was very close with Jacob. The year after that, Matt won, but then lost his category. And now it's you, Levi. So based on historical precedent, I'm actually going to go with Trevor on this.
Oh my gosh. No one believes in me.
Think about it like this, though. I think there could be this universe, too, where people just really want to see what I could come up with if I really put maybe a little bit more time into anything that I'm doing. So maybe there's just a little bit of hope in their hearts that if they all kind of prop me up, that I'll really put something special out there.
I think Trevor also benefits from, in a way that Paul and I do as well. We benefit from not having one. So you kind of expect a win at some point. It's like you're due, which is not really how it works, but that I think is the mindset.
That's the way it works.
So
you're due for a due.
So I think that does benefit Trevor.
I wonder if people will automatically block out anybody else who has already won a Golden Dewey. That would be an interesting piece of information to know.
So for me, it's not an automatic block. In order to win again, you have to clear number one. That is just hard to do. So
could we put a name on this?
I think you can call it curse.
Curse? Do you think curse is appropriate? I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I like it.
GDC. Golden Dewey curse.
Yep.
So do you think, Levi, you're the one to break the GDC?
I have high hopes, but doing this podcast is shattering those hopes. Let me put it that way.
Who's your matchup?
I'm going up against Tanner, who is finishing out his trilogy.
Yeah.
So that is definitely going to be.
So he's up against Return of the King.
You're either up against Return of the King or The Godfather 3, right?
Okay.
So there's a real yin-yang situation there.
Yeah.
Or whatever the Back to the Future is that they did the third time.
All right. The elephant in the room. Would you vote yes for Trevor for council?
Paul mentioned, he said something to the effect of we all know what Trevor would do on council. We actually don't. And maybe I missed this, but I would love, what are your policy proposals? Okay, so Trevor is on council. What happens next?
So I would like to reserve those for the Trevor mini pod. This is the pod. Yeah.
Can you give me a policy position? Not even your platform, just
yeah. So if I was on the council, I would definitely make sure that people knew I was on the council.
Okay. Yeah.
That's one thing that would happen.
No, that's the thing. The current council totally doesn't tell people that.
I would even consider, because I would be a really good liaison between the trading card committee and the official council, which is not something we currently have.
That's fair. That's a very strong position. Yeah.
And I'll save the rest of my talking points for my own episode.
Okay. Awesome. I respect that.
And so with that in mind, you do vote for me? Is that correct?
No, because I still don't have all the pieces together. But
okay, that's
with the current information that I've been given, I'd probably vote third party.
Vote for Lucas Green for council.
Something like that. Just total independent voice. Or maybe I don't know, Heather, someone, just a support,
wife on the council.
Support women.
Whoa. Seems a little, progressive for the council.
So what I'm hearing is Trevor is anti-women.
I mean, who's the one that's currently gatekeeping women from submitting films?
That's sometimes you got to make the hard decision, but it's the right decision.
Okay, fair enough. Since I brought up Lucas, who do you think will be the guest judge?
Man, I've got some thoughts. Pretty convinced that I know who it is, so I don't want to spoil it too much. But I've got a pretty good idea.
Has anyone been close in their guesses so far?
Yeah, people have been close.
So it's either a student or it's a different president from Asbury,
or a parent,
potentially,
or a parent,
or potentially someone's dad or mom.
Okay.
I should have picked my dad, though. That would actually be really fun. My dad would actually love it. He would be all in. He loved Pegged.
What activity besides films might we see at this year's celebration?
I mean, we're definitely going to do the Sunday devotional thing that we did last time. I mean, Mitchell mentioned fireworks. Again, if Zach's family is cool with that, then great. I would like some sort of competition thing. like a relay race something. What we did talk about was like having a bit more of like an itinerary this year. I think what happened last year is we just kind of all said, we'll play the trading card game when we play the trading card game. And then we just never played the trading card game. So having like a set time when like, okay, we're going to play it during this time. And then if you don't want to do it, then go do something else, right? Like you don't have to. Well, I like doing the run with you last year.
That was fun.
Levi. So we'll have to do that again. We can do the PRFF.
I enjoyed sleeping during that time. That was a good time.
I would have as well. But yeah, the PRFF RC10K. But yeah, I mean, if people have ideas, like let's do it. Obviously, we can't like probably do everybody's, but But yeah.
Oh, how much money are you planning on sinking into your film?
I've done 45 right now. I think when all is said and done, like probably $60.
You heard it here. Andrew King unholsters the money gun into his film.
Dude, apparently not though, because I'm not spending $700 like Mitchell
on a single scene.
on a single scene. But some of it was like super well spent. Like without getting too into it, I'm like very excited about $30 that was spent.
Now, what do you think about Paul's claim that, you know, maybe we have to put a cap on people's spending?
I would say definitely not. Like if you want to be, I mean, if you want to spend like $100 on your film, like I would not, but like more power to you. I would say it doesn't automatically help you. Like I think it definitely helped Matt year 3. But really, like, other than getting the costumes, that was kind of all he paid for. And like, that's, you just like, if you're doing a Batman knockoff, you kind of need a Batman suit.
Yeah, I spent a bunch of money last year and that didn't help me win at all.
No, exactly. Or like Sam won, again, it's year 1, so it's a little different, but Sam, you know, bought Taco Bell for his film and won. Right. So I would not put a cap on it. It's sort of like, oh, well, we're all busy, so can we extend the time for filming? And it's like, no, you use the constraints you have to enable your creativity. So if you only have like $25, then you got to be super creative with $25.
What's the most challenging part of creating your PRFF film?
The editing, which is kind of fun because I know Matt and I, our like films are one in the edit bay, at least with Pegged, right? It was kind of like one in the edit bay. And Matt's films obviously are like entirely one in the edit bay because there's like so much like special effects, right? So this year, I would imagine a similar thing. I spent 3 days recently on like a 12-second sequence. So just slowly tinkering away over 3 days to get like one little thing down. So there's a lot of heavy After Effects work, which I've been getting into recently. So
cool. It sounds like you're making Trapped 2. Is that correct?
I should. That would be so fun.
That would be cool.
So, Andrew, why do you think the blue team will beat the red team?
Yeah, I mean, other than just, you know, sheer moral goodness and you know, quality of character, humor, I think unequivocally the blue team is obviously funnier, just Certainly. Like on a personal level than the red team. Truly, the only hope that any red team has of getting my vote on election night is if I forget that I'm voting for a party room and not for politics, and I just vote red because I assume they're Republican.
Oh boy.
So yeah. Anyway, we'll see. You know, I can't wait to see, you know, the cute films that the red team makes, but excited to see the big boys bring out the big guns. But honestly, it's a good question because truthfully, I've like barely thought about the red team these last couple weeks. So I really
pretty much a non-factor in this whole thing.
Yep.
I hate blue team episodes.
All right. Well, that is all that she wrote for this episode of the PPRFFMP episode 6. And y'all know what it is because we're just hanging out
with my family.
Excellent.
Bippity boppity boo. Let's go Team Blue.